down to 24. It's now 27.5.
I see it at 28 now.
Yeah. So that's telling you that what that's telling you is sharp money came in on Tulsa. And
that's
then
a quarterback
all this
issue,
public,
right?
and then all this public money's coming in on OU.
But both their quarterbacks are hurt.
Godmother! Mommy!
Yes, so their starter, Edward Braxton, he's probably not playing. He's seriously banged up. Their second string, Williams, probably is going to play.
Yeah, okay. That line's so large, so, but hey.
When you hear us talking in the background, y'all, you know we're getting ready to go.
Showtime!
Welcome everybody back to another episode of MoneyPot Betting and the MoneyPot Podcast. I am the host. I am the CEO. They call me Moss Money. And I got the round table once again. We have gathered this day for blessings among blessings to bless y'all with these fruits of jewels that's going on. And Sharp just rolled out after my eulogy because he didn't want to hear it. But Sharp will be back. I'm Moss Money once again. And I got my guy with me. They call him Diddy. What's up, bro?
What's up, man? Week 3. We are here.
Yes,
seem to be a little slow week, but we'll figure something out. We'll find some gems out here for y'all.
Oh, of course. So that was our professional gambler, but he had to go make a bet probably. Ran off to go make some money, go get some bets, but I am sure he will be back as soon as he is possible. But first and foremost, thank you guys all as always watching. If you watched last week, the boys made some money, dog.
Hide the money, y'all. There's poor people around. With your broke ass.
The boys made some money. I was talking to Diddy a little bit. He's like, hey, this is what we do. And I said, I know. I put it together. So let's talk about it and let's look at it. We'll start with a little bit of bad news first. I myself didn't have a great week last week, but excuse me. Bring Sharp back in here. There he is. What's up, Sharp?
Sorry about that. I froze up or something.
Yeah. MIA a little bit, Sharpie. What's going on?
Yeah.
All right.
I'm back.
I got you. So we'll zoom in. These are my numbers from last week. I didn't get a chance to put the teaser all the way in, but as you can see, still profitable on the number. Lost 6-6 though, even. But oh man, I didn't have a good day. Florida State really saved me. Lost on 3 bets. My NC State total loss. My Washington Tulsa under loss. It actually, the hook got me there. Obviously, we already know what Florida State did. And then I had a teaser and over in totals, which I believe the SMU Oklahoma one, I think, did not go over the total. So I didn't get a chance to write it, but I will update that as before. So all in all, 2 and 3 day, which is not the worst day, but we got a certain standard here that we like to keep. And when you see the green coming from the other boys, you already know what we're talking about, right? Diddy swept the week. Kansas, Colorado, perfect. Teaser with Notre Dame and Utah. That's what we're talking about. That's what we expect. Sweeping the week. Up 4 units, 6-2 on the year, 75% win rate. Can't say much more than that. Well, you want to say something, brother? I know you want to add something to it.
Man, just do what I do, man. Listen, this seasoning in my beard don't come from, nothing. It's a lot of work right here. This is why it's seasoning there. You know what I mean? It's a lot of wisdom here. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. That's bottom line. We're going to get y'all paid.
Yes, sir. I said it on, where did I say it on, Sharp? I said it on Facebook, I believe. There's nobody doing what we're doing for free. Nobody. You're not gonna be finding nobody dropping gems and giving out free money like this for free. Nobody. You might find somebody who might give you a crazy parlay that they might hit out of the blue, but consistently week in and week out, there's a reason why y'all tune in. So keep tuning in. And then the man himself, Sharp, had an amazing day as well. Nice little bounce back from the week before. 4-1. Oh, what's that say? That's not right. 4-1 on the number. He had a push on Oklahoma, but other than that, everything else.
Yeah,
and
I want to thank
back
Diddy.
door, Oregon back door, baby.
Oh, I got lucky. I got lucky on some bets. There were some bad bets out there. I got unlucky on OU to push. That should have won, but I tailed you on Kansas, so I was really happy with that. After hearing you, I was like, man, yeah, because I was already thinking Kansas, and then after you talked, I went and placed that. So I had a really good week personally. Yeah, I think MoneyPot we're rolling. Yeah, and a couple people are going to point out your misses every once in a while, and like Robert Salah says, if you don't got haters, you ain't popping.
So he's up 4 units so far on the year, 7-3, 70% of the number, which is an amazing start to the college football season. So what is next? Oh, week 3 is next. College football is rolling around. Now, we all talked about how this week is a little bit funky, a little bit weird. So not the usual slate that we usually have of a magnitude of games. We want to give you our best bets. We want to give you some teasers. We want to give you some other games that we might be looking at. So make sure, like Diddy said, you have to follow, you have to subscribe, you hit the notification button so you know when we're going live, when we drop videos, for any other added bets that we might see as the week goes on, or anything live per se as well. And then make sure you tune in, because we'll hit you guys with some bonus picks for Thursday night football for Eagles versus Vikings after all the college picks as well. So let's bring up the handy dandy sports book, as I say. And since your game is first, Sharp, let's start with you. I know you had a line on, is that tomorrow? Friday? No, tomorrow. Yeah, Memphis. And I don't want to do. I'm sorry, I brought out ESPN. Memphis and who are they playing?
Memphis and Navy.
Yeah. Go ahead. Time's yours, brother.
Yeah. There's not a lot of, this is not one of my favorite weeks in college football. You'll see on this show, I'm not going to have many bets, but this is one of my bets I just absolutely love. I just think Memphis is a team that loves to play fast, up tempo, and score. And they like to score as fast as possible. They're not so worried about trying to limit possessions, and they're going to play exact opposite of the way Navy plays. And I just think this is a really bad Navy team. Like, for me, this bet is more fading, just flat fading Navy, than it is in full support of Memphis. I do really like Memphis this year, but I just think Navy is probably, this is one of their worst teams in a decade, and that's going to be trouble. And with a running clock, the way they play, if they get behind, it's even less conducive for them to come back. So I just think Memphis is going to get up early. I don't see 14 being that big of a problem. If you did want to tease this game, this is going to be in one of my teasers at the end of the show. If you didn't like 14, then I'll just follow my teaser this week. But of the straight up plays, this is my bet.
Yeah, I got no questions or no qualms about that as well. I agree with that. Yeah. We were talking about it in the show. Yeah, we were talking about it earlier in the show where Memphis is a good play here. And I haven't watched Navy this year, but I don't have a take on Navy, so I understand I have some plays like that as well, where it's not so much the stats and the lines, it's just fading the other team and just how much better the other side of the ball is. So definitely get that as well, for sure. All right, best bet one in the books, maybe Memphis minus 14. The line was at what, 14.5, I think.
The weird thing about this line that does give me a little scare is a couple times in the week it jumped up to 14.5, and it quickly got bet down to 14, which that's probably not public money, finding a 14.5 midweek. So that there's someone that out there with deep pockets that likes Navy. So I am on the opposite side of that person, but they might just like the hook. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know that, but what that tells me is that unless public money comes surging in, I don't think this line's going to balloon.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I agree with the pick, and I think it's solid, and let's keep rocking and rolling. Now, Diddy, I know you have a teaser with some of the earlier games in there, but I like to start off with our best straight bets first. So I already ordered. I know my man ordered some prime gear. Let's go talk about it. Let's go to the night game real quick. We'll jump all the way down to the night game.
Here we go.
And let's talk to them. Colorado, prime time. Prime time in prime time.
No. You can't even ask me that. I'm prime.
Prime time and prime time.
No. I'm prime.
Talk to me.
The Colorado
State
train will continue to run through the first quarter of their schedule. This is supposed to be a quote-unquote rivalry game. I guess it's an in-state rivalry game, Colorado versus Colorado State. Yeah. I don't think it's really a rivalry game when you're looking at the record between the two. Gotcha. I guess it's just more of an in-state rivalry. Yeah. Listen, I played at Del State, and Delaware is our in-state rival, and they used to mop us every year. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at not the spread here. Not that I don't have faith that they can cover this spread. I think Colorado is going to suffer defensively against this team, just like they did last week when they played Washington State University. I feel like Colorado, the way they play offense, is very similar to Washington State. So they're going to go back-to-back weeks on a high, potent offense. Shedeur Sanders right now is throwing at a 77% clip, 903 yards. Hasn't thrown a pick, 6 touchdowns.
Second in the nation.
The key to this is they continue to pass the ball regardless, which is another thing I don't like about the Colorado team right now. I'm really concerned about them, which gives me faith in my team total wins for them. But I just think Colorado State right now, last week, gave up 556 yards total last week, 30 first downs, over 400 yards passing. That's telling a lot in this story. So would I look at that spread and say, can they cover that spread? Absolutely, because it looks like Colorado don't lift their foot off the pedal. They keep on going. I think they're going to try to stat boost a little bit for Shedeur. But at the same time, I'm going to look at team total over. I feel a little more safe with the team total. So we can find a team total for Colorado State. I think that's kind of where I'm going to go. Team total first half over, team total full game over. That will be my play. This is a primetime game. It's going to be probably I don't know. They have a dark out there. Everybody's going to be wearing black, I'm pretty sure. Mm-hmm. And they're going to be really, really hype. I like the team total here for Colorado.
Good colors you wearing right there. Wearing all black, brother. You said so you're going Colorado State team total over.
No, Colorado.
Colorado. Okay. That's what I thought.
I'm going to follow. Yeah. Like I said, I'm going to follow the buff train here. I just like the team total better than I like the spread. Although I think they can cover. You can cover both.
Yeah. So I'm.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm in agreement with you. That is my best bet as well. I like Colorado over 41.5. Is the number that I see on the team total, and I obviously agree with everything you said. And they just can't run the ball, so they're gonna be passing all day. He's second in the nation in passing right now. And like you said, they're going to keep patting stacks, and they're going to keep throwing and keeping their foot on the gas. Also adding to this bet as well, for me, is I like the total. I'm sorry, the over of the actual game total at 60.5. I think Colorado might score 50 points here.
I agree.
Like, I think they might really score 50 points. And like you had mentioned before, they have a bottom half defense as well. So I know I forget the kid's name. I think it's Braden something. He came in last week for Colorado State. There's a rookie, Clay Millen, was in there. And then they went with the red shirt freshman, gave him a boost. And against Washington State, he was actually able to put some points up. So they know how big this game. They know the magnitude of this game in terms of Everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to be watching. I mean, Cameron showed up. Wu-Tang showed up. And all the celebrities and everybody showed up for that game. And it wouldn't surprise me if we see the same thing. Shannon Sharp and Stephen A showed up. So everybody's down there to support Deion. And why should everybody else benefit where we can make this money too off Deion too? So
for sure. And
so my only thing about this game is I'm kind of taking the big picture of this game. Not that I don't agree with everything you guys said. I do. My thing is the look ahead spot here. I'm kind of looking like, yes, Shedeur Sanders is, dad's going to want his son in New York for the Heisman, and he's going to have that in the back of his mind. So do I think he's going to pull him out, early third quarter if it's ugly? I don't know, which does benefit you for your team total. I will say this, though. Does it concern you at all that they're about to play Oregon next week, and I could see Deion pull some key starters in the second half just to get them out for Oregon? Like, I don't see Deion going balls to the wall for 4 quarters in this game. So that would be my only concern.
This is their prime time game. I don't see him letting off the gas. He didn't show it last week. They were up 3 scores. It was 6 minutes and clock was running. Well, Shedeur Sanders was out there throwing the football. At that point, I'm like, what's happening here? So
I think did you see Deion said that was personal between him and Matt Rule. He didn't appreciate the things Matt Rule said. So
Matt
I
Rule
think
didn't say
that was
much.
personal. I don't think he will run the score up on Colorado State. I just have a sneaky suspicion of all the games, the starters will come out the earliest in this one.
Nah, I don't agree with that. I think they're not looking ahead because they're already underdogs regardless.
They better be looking ahead. If they're not game planning this week for Oregon, they're getting their ass whooped next week.
They're going to get their ass whooped anyway, so it don't matter. What I'm saying is that I think they're going to try to do what they can do. This is my biggest caveat with Colorado. This is why I think they don't get more than 5 wins. Although I believe they're going to go 3-0. Hear what I'm saying? I think 6 is a great season for them, but this is what's happening. The way I've been seeing them play football, they depend on the pass too much. This ain't the South. This ain't Jackson State, Alabama. This ain't the South. Colorado gets cold. Those hands are going to start feeling like bricks really, really soon. And if that's the way your offense is going to be ran, you're going to have a tough sledding when you're starting to play in this cold weather, even at home. So things are going to slow down for them offensively. I think they're going to be playing tougher competition like Oregon.
For sure.
Then you got to worry about USC.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're going to have some other dogs in the background.
They still got
like
Washington and Washington State. Their schedule is loaded.
So this is my problem with Colorado because they will not run the football. That's an issue. Shedeur has almost 90 pass attempts in 2 games.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That doesn't make sense. You're not For me, this is the way I look at football. So for me, I'm still. Do I believe in Deion Sanders? 100%. I think he's he's a unique person on the planet. He's a motivator. People believe in him. They follow him.
Mm-hmm.
Will they progress and be great? Absolutely. But this season, I've seen enough where I feel as though things are going to change within the next 2 or 3 weeks. And if you keep leaving, like you said, Shedeur Sanders out there, 6 minutes and running up 3 scores, whether it's personal or not, he almost got his ass hurt out there.
Yeah, that's my thing. You roll an ankle up in the 4th quarter, and there's your season.
But that told me watching that told me it doesn't matter. They're just going to play the way they're going to play until the wheels fall off. So I don't think they're going to pull off on a primetime game, home night, blackout.
I'm excited to watch. I mean, I haven't had a feel for Colorado like you have, so I'm with you.
And I support Deion for sure.
And it always helps. And it always helps. Like we get like Moss Money Dad of the Year. It always helps when your dad's trying to get you to the Heisman ceremony.
Facts, because that's what.
Give me my theme music.
It look
I appreciate it. All right, so we got Colorado in the bag. We got Memphis in the bag. Who is up next on the slate of times? I know teasers are out there. Sharp, I forget. Did you have another straight bet, or was Memphis it, and you were kind of watching, seeing you had teasers?
Yeah. Well, we talked about it briefly. The only other game I was possibly thinking about is Maryland.
Oh, it was Maryland.
Maryland, but it's been going back and forth between 14.5 and 14, and I'm hoping maybe a 13.5. But it's not looking like that 13.5 is ever going to come. Every time it gets to 14, it goes back up to 14.5, and then it gets bet back down. So I'm probably going to give it one more day, but there's a good chance I will be on Maryland. And Maryland will definitely be in that same teaser. Same way, basically the same exact way. I think Virginia is god-awful, and I think that the running clock doesn't help them out, although you think it would. It doesn't help them out because when the other team gets up, they can just run the clock out too in the second half and just ice the game. And you're seeing lower possessions than ever. A team like Virginia who can't score. I just think Maryland – I think Maryland's sneaky good, a lot like I think Memphis is sneaky good, and I think Virginia and Navy are just bad, really, really bad.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you and Diddy were talking about that. So for those who are watching on the recording here on the review, Maryland is a strong lean here.
Don't be so quick to get 14.5 though. Wait it out, refresh your book. You can set notifications up. As soon as you see 14, you can get an alert. Get an alert on your phone for 14, and when it hits 14, maybe buy the hook or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say you might as well buy the hook because I think it would take some good money for it to drop under that 14. You might see it at 14 in a couple books before to get under that. It won't last at 13.5 based off the handicap that I'm somewhat hearing. We didn't go in depth, but for the feel and how bad Virginia is, I don't think you're going to see this drop too low. So this might be obviously like you said, a teaser play, or if you want to get it to 4, if you find it at 14, buy the hook and just pay the juice on it. Makes a lot of sense. Okay. Yeah, we'll keep that in mind for later on videos. It's only Wednesday, so we got some time here. I did see the other game. Diddy, it looks like you're up next. Sure. Kansas State, Missouri. Talk to me.
Yeah, man, this is a game that I'm really looking at closely. I like this Kansas State team. I'm really tailing them for a few games. They always seem to have a hiccup or issue midway through the season, but usually early on they kind of take advantage of some of those teams that they play. I think this is one of them. I know this is a away game. This is last year. I think they smacked the mess out of Missouri, so you might want to see Missouri. You might think Missouri's going to have a revenge mindset coming into this game, especially at home. I just think Missouri's offense is just not what they are used to being, like kind of high-flying, spread offense, being able to push the ball down the field and pressure some of these SEC teams. They're not that way this year. I think they're ranked 80th right now, total offense. You're looking at a Kansas State team that's in the top 20 offense. They're moving the ball. They're very confident. Their front seven defensively is stout, which means they can hold teams to possessions offensively, and I think they'll do that again this week to Missouri. My only caveat is that I think the line opened up at 6 and it's dropped to 4.5. So I wonder why that is. I've been looking at the injury report, been trying to figure that out, but I'm still confident in Kansas State here. I'll buy a point to get it to about 3, maybe 1.5. But if I can wait to that line, if it drops again, maybe I can get it to 3 or under 3. But I do like them. Over the last few weeks, they've averaged 40 points for Kansas State. Defense is stout, like I said. They're just a more physical team. We all know Kansas State, and that coach over there always has this team playing really physical in Kansas State. And I think Missouri is just not there right now. They had lackluster victories against Middle Tennessee State, along with South Dakota. Just didn't look good when I seen them play for the brief moment that I did see them when I was flashing through the television. So give me Kansas State. I don't mind the 4.5. I'm going to buy a point just to get under a little bit, just in case some funky stuff happens. But give me Kansas State. This is one of my locks of the week.
So, listening to the handicap, why just the point? Where you see
because I think you
see any value.
I think you get into that juice. I know that doesn't make sense that they're going to 3.5, right? Yeah. I think if you're in that 4.5 soft zone between 3.5 or 3 and 5, and then I think you're still safe. Like I said, I think you're safe at the 4.5.
Yeah.
It's just one of them things I just like to do sometimes, just to buy a point just in case, because some crazy stuff happens all the time in college football.
Shit, Negro, that's all you had to say.
Well, the one thing that about that game is what's so weird about Missouri, I've watched them a little bit, is they have talent. Like, their receivers are Mookie Cooper. He transferred from Ohio State. He can play. They have Theo Weiss. He transferred in from OU. They can play. They have Luther Burden. He's going to be a top 50 pick someday. He can play. He was a 5-star high school recruit.
You're talking about on Missouri, right?
Missouri. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I don't, their offensive numbers, like when I look at their talent and then I look at their performances so far, there's a disconnect between the play caller and the quarterback.
Yeah.
The play caller is not calling the plays that the quarterback is seeing, or the quarterback just doesn't have any faith in the plays and he's doing his own thing, because there's just something is off. I see separation when I watched, especially last week, and the ball just wasn't there. And it wasn't because there was guys in the backfield left and right. So I could see, I don't have much of a feel for this game, but there's something wrong with Missouri. This might be a really good bet solely on coaching staffs.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Coach is gonna have Kansas State don't weaver at all.
Yeah.
The only time they lose is because they're just not a better team than the other.
They won't beat themselves.
They won't beat themselves. Absolutely. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So I'm gonna have my faith in Kansas State. That's back-to-back weeks with Kansas State's bets with Kansas last week, and I'm going to follow Kansas State this week, and we're going to make that money, man.
Yes, sir. As we always do. My bad, I hit the wrong button, fell off.
Diddy, you've become basically our Big 12 guru. You're betting all the Kansas teams, and then Colorado's coming in next year. That's you're our Big 12 guru.
Yeah. It's a big
yeah. All right, I'm going to this Bama's South Florida game for my next best bet. What's that?
I'm not touching Bama with a hot stick.
We got all these big in-state rivalries this week, man. Can't wait.
This is a throw-up game.
It's a throw-up game for you?
Yeah.
So we already know Bama lost last week. I think this is a great bounce-back spot here for Bama. I'm taking Bama first. What I have? Bama first half. What was it, team total? I think it was my first half team. Yeah, Bama first half team total. This South Florida team's the South Florida team defense is horrendous. Right, this team is horrendous. But what I was looking at was it's going to be hot. It's going to be in Florida, so it's hot in Bama, but it's a little bit different with that humidity down there. So I'm thinking that once they get up, that gas might start to come off a little bit later in those third and fourth quarters. But this is a pure bounce back spot here. Obviously, Bama lost to Texas last week. Did not look good. So I like Bama here to put up a couple points. I've noticed that outside of the Texas game, obviously they do beat up on obviously bad teams. And then who was the team that they played for? South Florida's given up, I believe, 27 points in the last two games in the first half, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check that. But they're, FBS team, when I'm starting at FBS, against other FBS teams, we're able to score. So I expect Bama to score early and often in this game and get the win. Whether they cover or not, another story. But I like the first half, Bama.
Yeah, I mean, USF has 3 freshman quarterbacks versus Nick Saban, so awful loss. I mean, that's probably just a principal bet,
Yeah, right. Yeah, awful loss. And that's what I'm about. It's not so I haven't watched South Florida that much, but awful loss against obviously an inferior team. I'll take the coaching and that team and that pedigree of that team, knowing that they're going to come out and they're going to probably put their foot on their throats pretty early, pretty quickly. Off to the next one.
It was a long week for Bama this week at practice. I do know that. That's for sure. Losing at home like that to Texas.
Yeah, and I think another advantage for you, Moss, is Jalen Milroe is a dual threat running quarterback. Well, so is USF starting quarterback Byron Brown. So that read option stuff, Bama's defense sees it every day in practice. That's not going to confuse them.
All right, let's keep the train rolling. We got more bets for those who are still watching. Let us know. Hey, are we hitting games that you guys like? If not, let us know in the comments below. If there's games, maybe even for next week, where you want us to do, and we can see if we can do a appreciation game or appreciation for our followers game to let you know what our takes are handicap. Any game in the week, just put a couple down there. I'll make sure I get it over to the guys, and make sure while you're doing that, hit that notification, hit that like, hit that subscribe, all the good stuff above. We are off and running with this show because it's just growing and growing, and I can't thank y'all enough. All right, so I got Bama down, Memphis, Colorado, Kansas State, the Big 12 guru over there. I'm sorry, you say Big 12 or was it Big 10? I forget.
Big 12.
Big 12, I was right. I got one more game here because I think we have teasers behind us, and I'm going to Eugene and Oregon. just a super big time fade here of Hawaii, who was absolutely horrendous. I'm going Oregon first quarter minus 10.5, and I'm taking a chance. Oregon scored average score is I think been almost 17 points in the first quarter. I know they scored 14 in the last two. I think the first game they beat somebody 80 points. It was 81-7 if I'm not mistaken in their first game, and Oregon does not let off the gas. Bo Nix was playing up until like the mid and third quarter when they were up by like 45. You're talking about somebody patting their stats to get to New York? Oh, this is going to be a game for that for sure. Give me the first quarter, and I'm doing it. Team total over 52.5. Let's go.
Oh, damn.
Oregon, they putting up 60.
They roll.
And Eugene.
I love that first
putting up
quarter.
60.
Sure.
Bo Nix at home's crazy. His home, he does phenomenal at home.
Yeah, give me. And I was kind of feeling Hawaii in the beginning, but they let me down. They let me down. I thought they would have came back. I think I lost the bet last week after they showed a first game showing, but I hope Chang has done a amazing job with that program, but you're talking about a team with playoff aspirations and national championship aspirations. It's going to be a slaughter. It's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad, and we're going to score 60.
I kind of like that bet actually. That's probably just a sneaky bet. Probably the books are banking on not enough people are even going to play that game for them not to get crushed either way. So that's probably.
I think they might score 50.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree.
Like it's very possible that this score is going to be 38-3. You know what I mean? Something silly by halftime. And even if they pull off the gas, who's the backup? I looked his name up for Oregon. Because I was looking at he did well last game. Man, what the fuck is his name? I think it begins with T. Brock Thompson. No, that's a freshman. Is it Thompson that played? No, Ty Thompson. He played last game and did and I think he threw like 3 or 4 touchdowns. Last game, a little bit of a dual threat, a little bit different. Well, not actually, no, it's not different. So much different than Bo Nix, but just a little bit different flow than him. Went 7 for 8, had I think almost 80, 90 yards and threw a touch. So I think, like I said, the Ducks roll here.
Nothing going to tell you on that first quarter for sure. I like that first quarter bet.
First quarter minus 10.5. They'll be up 14-21 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Hawaii can't.
Yeah, I do. I was looking at some of those. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I definitely think there's some value in the first half, especially Oregon, like you were saying. I agree there.
Yeah. So I'm double dipping on Colorado, double dipping on Oregon. Give me my Bama bet off a loss, like you said, long week. Sharp, you're on Memphis. Strong lean to Maryland. We have Colorado team total for Diddy and Kansas State minus 4.5. Let's get to the teasers. Sharp, I haven't heard you in a while, a little bit. What's your teaser bet, best bet teaser of the week? If you have more than one, let me know. Let's run it.
Yeah, we're going to do the first one right off the bat. Everything settles pretty early, so this one should be good. By Saturday afternoon, you'll know if this bet hits or not. We're going to take 3-team, 10 points. You take Memphis down to -4. You take Maryland down to -4.5. And you take Penn State down to -4.5.
Teaser bet. We're going to go hit him with the 10-point.
Yeah, and I like combining these things. You're going to see kind of how I do teasers a lot of the times throughout the year. I tend to target spreads that are the same. So all these spreads are sitting at 14, 14.5. The books are telling you how they see it. And so these are the games where I tend to have a good feel when the spread's about 14. I tend to pretty kind of know what Vegas is seeing here, and I agree with what they're seeing. So I just think it's a little risky to have these, especially the hook. The hook could scare you on Penn State and Maryland, which is why I only gave out Memphis straight up because the push is there. And if you wanted to buy the hook, go for it. But, man, I love this teaser.
Let me challenge you a little bit on the Illinois and why not go Penn State straight up here?
Because I am a little concerned in the interior offensive line of Penn State. I think they're fantastic on the tackle spots. I don't think interior-wise they're great. And we simply just haven't seen their quarterback have to deal with pressure in his face. I do think he's a good player, and I do think Drew Aller makes Penn State's offense a little more elite, and the ceiling's higher than it's been in several years. But we just haven't seen two defensive tackles get in his face like Illinois has the capability of. So I want to see that first, which is why I feel a little bit better about the teaser. But if it is going to cover, I do think it's because Penn State's defense just dog walks Illinois.
Yeah, I think so too. I was wondering about Penn State straight because of
the weird thing about Illinois is it can be super windy. I've gone to several games there where that wind, the stadium's open-ended and the wind whips from the direction that it's open. I've been to some games when Terrell Pryor was there and Troy Smith was there at Ohio State where you literally couldn't pass because it was blowing like 30 sideways. And unless you were downwind, you just couldn't pass. So that could be maybe I will check weather right before kickoff. And if the weather's looking lousy, I'll probably stay away. But if the weather's looking good, I probably will right before kickoff maybe look at taking Penn State.
Yeah, I'm just wondering because I'm thinking back about that Kansas Illinois game, and I felt like Kansas controlled that game, almost all the way to the third quarter. I think there was like a long kind of weird run by Illinois, but other than that, I understand Daniels was back, so that was a huge boost for Kansas. But I feel like if the other kid played, the backup quarterback to Kansas that showed out game one, I feel like it would have been almost the same result. With Kansas just dog washing Illinois like that. So I was looking at this game, and I know obviously the books put the hook there as well for a reason, but Penn State's better than Kansas, right? We do all agree with that.
Yes,
right?
but I think Kansas's offense is I think their play caller and their scheme is better than Penn State's. I think Penn State has more talent top to bottom, and I think Penn State's defense is obviously night and day better than Kansas. But if you're just giving me pure play caller and scheme, I will take Kansas's play caller and their misdirection. They pretty much run the Kyle Shanahan offense, right? There's someone screaming in motion pre-snap, which makes you react to that, and then they go full spread off that. Penn State does not play that way with Drew Aller. This is going to be more traditional drop back. So I do think the matchup is favored for Illinois to keep it a little closer with their defensive tackles, but I could be wrong there, and Penn State could just bombs away.
Yeah, I brought up the team total just to get a sense. That's 16 and a half is this. If it was 17, I would really like it.
Yeah, I was hoping for that Carolina Panthers team total 17. I couldn't believe Vegas hung 17 and a half for the Panthers week one. That's besides the point. That was a great bet by you. I tailed you on that. That was awesome. I was hoping for that same thing here. If this thing was 17 and a half, oh gosh, I would unload. But 16 and a half, I don't know.
Yeah. Diddy, talk to me. I know you got Penn State in the teaser as well. What you think about looking at this game a little bit more from a lean or even a straight up possibility here? Do the books have this game pegged right? It is in Illinois, weather factors, obviously coaching factors. But Kansas State, Kansas is whooped on these boys. So, yeah. I don't think it's going to get any easier with Penn State coming into town, right?
I try not to weigh as much weight as who they played and how they played prior. I'll look at it and say, and I look more focused on the team itself that I'm looking at, and that's Illinois. How did Illinois play against Kansas? Not how Kansas did against them, right? Yeah. I just think Illinois defensively just not strong like they were over the past 2 years. That was where they were leaning really heavy on
their secondary
defense and their secondary. And half them dudes are gone now.
Gone.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's where you're going to have the issue. But to
Sidney Brown,
point,
baby.
And
Penn State
Jartavius Martin's balling for the Commanders supposedly.
And to Sharp's point, I think Penn State plays a little bit different offensively. They like to hit you with the run a little more, kind of control the line of scrimmage up front, and then beat you from there. And once they wear you down, then they'll expose you. And I think in this game, like you said, you're going to Illinois. It is a Big Ten game. Illinois have fought Penn State tough. I want to say last year, I think it was an overtime game. So they are a little familiar with Penn State. For me, they're a teaser and they're on a 4-point teaser. I know Penn State's going to win this game.
Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm taking a 4-team teaser. I'm bringing them down to 1.5 points. Just so I don't have to worry about any other bullshit. Just in case any type of, like you say, weather elements happen. Can't throw the ball. Now it's a tight game, but that run game for Penn State is going to dominate this game.
And the run game for Illinois without Chase Brown's not there.
It's not there.
It's not there. Like, they're making their quarterback throw it 45 times, and I like him, but Illinois is not going to win games if their quarterback's throwing 45 times. They're just.
What was the score of this game? Well, obviously there was a different team from Illinois because they had some NFL stuff.
Yeah, different defense.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Illinois put 5 dudes into the NFL. Like, for them, that's like a all-time class. Like, they don't do that.
Illinois won 20-18 in 2021 last time they played.
Yeah.
So that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever, 2 years ago.
I wonder if there's some value here on the under.
Yeah, I'm not going to dig too much, man. Like I said, for me,
okay.
I'm going to put Penn State into a teaser.
Yeah, I like the place. No, I like the.
I did just look, and the weather looks good. It looks like it's going to be 75 and 7-mile-an-hour winds, so that favors True Valor for sure.
All right. No, I mean, I like the play. I think Penn State is obviously a valuable option for all teasers, just from the breakdown we did. But looking at this teaser right here, I like this bet as well. We talked, we already gave you a side on Memphis from a double dipping with that from a straight play. We had talked about Maryland right on the pod, and then obviously the Penn State talk as well. So I think that's a solid teaser, 10-point teaser as we look at the line here. Everything gets to 4. Solid. Let's switch it up. I'll put Penn State back in there as well. BDiddy, you already kind of mentioned that you had a teaser with this, a 4-team teaser. Talk about the other legs. What else you got in that thing?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much this is what I call my dog teasers. All dogs, right? I'm just going all dog teasers for here. I think week 3s, week 2s, sometimes in college football is always the toughest. A lot of big mismatches across the board. You can kind of find some gems. For me, this is my dog. Not dog like dog is behind, but dogs like they tough teams. Duke, all right? I love Duke here playing a Northwestern team that just ain't. They should have probably skipped this year to play football. That's how bad that team is right now in that organization. There's a lot that's happened in Northwestern. You know what I mean? So I'm taking the weakness of that, playing against a Duke team that's very, very solid offensively, defensively have shown up, smack in your face, get after the quarterback. I like this Duke team. I'm going to tease them in a 4-team teaser. That's 13 points. You're going to take it from 18.5 down to 5.5. I think they win by 2 scores against this Northwestern team. I'm putting that with Penn State. We already talked about Penn State. That brings them down to 1.5 because it's 13 points from 14.5 to 1.5. We're going to take another dog team in Washington. We all know how Washington is playing Michigan State, and we know Michigan State is in the shit house. This is a tough week for Michigan State.
That's crazy.
So I know all the focus is not on football right now. And I'm going to take a team that's strong up front, strong defensively, and I can put points up and Penix out there at quarterback, bring them from 16 to 3. Right? That's a 13 team. We're going to go -3 there for Washington playing Michigan State. And then finally, it's going to be Cincinnati. I like Cincinnati here. I'm not going to play a lot of Cincinnati games because I don't think they're strong enough. But I think the matchup with Miami of Ohio is big here. I like to bring them down to -1 just to win here against Miami of Ohio. I think Cincinnati, if they can lean on our run game, play action off it, they'll be able to move the ball. I can't see a Miami Ohio upset against Cincinnati. I'm going to bank on that, and I like a -1 pretty much to win. And that'll be my 4-team, 13-point teaser. Duke, Penn State, Washington, and Cincinnati.
So we had talked about, obviously, a little bit about Michigan State. So I'll do the same thing here with you. because I can't bring up the Duke. I don't know why it's closed here, but I'll do the same thing with you. Why not, with everything going at Michigan State here, why aren't we looking at taking Washington straight up here?
You could.
I mean, part of me was the line. There's a lot of line movement. I mean, the look ahead line before all the Mel Tucker stuff, I think was 9 or 10. So I mean,
Jesus.
I think it was 10. So
it's bet up that much,
dude. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, you got to imagine what are they doing? What are they doing in practice?
You know, and what you were saying, I was trying to find something in that Duke game, and I think they pulled it off the board.
Yeah, it closed on me, so I can't.
Oh no, I found it. Okay, I found it.
Yeah, I don't know why it closed, but well, I'll put it back up there.
Well, I'm with you, but going into that, I will at the end. I'll give
because the line just moved up again. I'm sorry, guys. It went up to 9. It went up to 19 now.
Okay.
They must hear you. They know. What Deion say? We coming. we coming.
Like shit.
Wait, Washington just went to 19.
No, the Duke.
Duke game. The Duke popped up to 19.
Well, what I like is, man. I mean, I think it's a pretty sharp line, but I was thinking maybe Northwestern under 13.5 team total.
Yeah.
I mean, is Duke going to let them score?
Duke is tough, man.
I agree. Just kind of hearing your dog and like the tough mentality. And I was already kind of thinking Northwestern might not get to 14, but I don't know.
Like weakness. This is to the viewers. Weeks like this, I try not to find. I don't like searching for.
Me too. That's why I kept it simple with Memphis and the teaser.
Exactly.
Like I was.
Yep. These are my confident plays. So I try not to, I keep it where I can kind of manage what I'm doing, because if not, you can get lost in the sauce and you can find many reasons why you can put money somewhere else. So unless you're confident, this is for my listeners, for our listeners, find something you like, cap what you like, feel confident, and make that bet. Sometimes when I do that, and I used to try to find ways, I can make some extra money because I think this, I get smacked right in the face, and now I'm chopping what I did win off my confident play. And then it's
you mean like me when I took Seattle Seahawks minus 13.5?
There we go, baby. Yeah, just like that. Just like
gonna fade out the screen, right? Gonna fade out the screen, just fade back.
It's all right. Hey,
it's all right, baby. We all been there before, brother. Yeah. Don't worry about it. We all been there before.
That was so funny. But yes, great point. Great point to our listeners. Don't try to get in your own head and overthink the room.
Don't chase. Don't chase it. Yeah, just take the win. Just take the win. I want to look more. This might be a lean here for me from a Washington standpoint. I think it's a big fade, like you guys said, at Michigan State. Now, could be some issue there. It's in Michigan State. It's always somewhat of a tough place to play. But it's really just fading everything that's going on at Michigan State. No focus. We're not even thinking about football right now. Washington punches them in the face. They're going to pack it in if they haven't already. So I might kind of see if I can dig a little bit deeper into this game, doing what we just said not to do, a little bit searching. But
to that money pot, it's the only thing you got to worry about that line is that the city rally.
You mentioned everyone needing to come together to lead. How do you think that can bring people together?
I think it'll bring people together perfectly, the ultimate way to bring people together. So something we used to do with Coach D'Antonio was when he was here every day, every day after practice, everybody come up and he'll say, "Who got it?" Somebody would pray. And so we did.
Yeah,
they're going to be really there for the team.
Yeah.
And so
that's
team
what I was
thinking. Like, all on us. We got to represent. And you might see that extra push. And Washington is traveling into that city. You got to know what their mindset is. Do I think they'll win this game? Absolutely, because they're a better team. I just don't know what kind of fight Michigan State's going to put up. It could be a great fight, or it could be a flat. And that's why I can't trust the line.
Say less. Because I was going down the
what we just talked about.
The wrong way, what we just talked about, and I was searching. Say less. You know what I mean? I really like this teaser. So I have no more questions about it. Everything on the side is the same, but I knew about the Michigan State thing, so I just want to deep dive into why we not looking at this possibly straight with everything going on at Michigan State. But say less. Locked in with the teaser. I actually don't have any teasers on my end. I just have those 5 straight plays that I have, but I will definitely be tailing the teasers that you guys gave out. Sharp, I think you have maybe 1 or 2 more teasers. Let me know.
Yes, I do. I have. I'm trying to make sure the numbers are legit right now. It's total opposite teams of ones I've already had. This is a 4-team, 13-point. So kind of going with some of the things we've already talked about. I'm going to target some of the games we've already talked about. I just want to get the numbers. I just want to get the numbers way below some of these inflated lines. So I love taking Duke from 19 and taking them all the way down to what's that, 6?
It'd be 6 now, yeah.
Yep. So
I don't know why this is still closed on me. It's because it hasn't updated, but keep
it hasn't updated. Yeah, the line's moving up to 19. Yep.
Yeah.
And then the game we just talked about, give me 13 points. Give me Washington. Even if Michigan State throws the kitchen sink at them, I don't see this game being a field goal. So give me Washington from 16 down to 13.
16 down to 3.
Or yeah, 3. I don't know why I misspoke. Thank you. And then we're going to go back to what you did, Moss. I love your bet. I do think the team prop of Oregon's probably the sharpest way to play it if you're going to go straight up. But if you're going to take 38 and deduce 13 points from it and give me Oregon minus 25 versus a bad Hawaii team, give me that. So you take Oregon from 38 to 25. And then last but not least, I'm going to do it. I'm going to be at the game. I truly think you could tease this game. I truly think you could tease this game either way. You could tease Tulsa up to 40.5, or you could tease OU down to 14.5. I'm going to tease Tulsa up to 40.5.
Home bet.
It's tough to cover those points, man.
Yeah, it is tough to cover. What's that, 40?
40. I like that.
Plus
I like
40?
That.
Plus 40 and a half.
They're not that bad.
You get the half.
Yeah, Tulsa's not. They're not a 40-point blowout, I don't think.
No, I mean, the way I look at it is Tulsa. If Tulsa played SMU, that spread's 3, right? That spread's probably 3. I mean, that's a coin flip game, Tulsa versus SMU, and the spread was in Tulsa or Oklahoma wasn't favored by 27 versus SMU, and I don't think SMU is better than Tulsa. Now, again, I'm not going off how they played each other. I'm just looking at pure 2 teams, 2 rosters playing a similar team. I don't see why there's 6 points inflated to OU versus Tulsa. I don't see that. Washington didn't just cover easily versus Tulsa. So it gets windy in Tulsa, man. I don't think they're going to beat them by 41. I really don't.
Right. The line was 33 for that Washington game. They pushed on that.
It opened at 36 and got bet down to 32 or 33. It opened at 36 though.
Okay.
6.
So they did. So Tulsa covered the initial line. I think it did push on the closing.
I can't see 4. I like the 40 plus.
But you could go either way. If you don't love that and you're out here listening, I love the first 3. If you wanted to take OU down to 14.5, you could do that.
I think I like the other way.
I do too. I mean, 40.5 at home. Like, come on.
Yeah, that's a lot of points. Okay. All right, so we got all the college bets out there. Even though we said that we weren't. It was a light week. It is kind of a light week. Sharp, you have 3 bets. Diddy, you have 3 bets, and I guess I'm playing catch up because I have 5. So make sure everybody, you guys, if you haven't listened to all the bets, they'll be all edited out with each game. I'm going to add some context to that Michigan State game if you're just jumping on now about what we're going to do about that game. There's some other games out here that we might like and we might add later on, so make sure you hit that notification, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll end it off with Thursday night football. Your Philadelphia Eagles home opener. The boys will be at the game in the goddamn building.
Nice.
Against the hated Minnesota Vikings. Thursday night football line is -6.5. Total is now 49. Money line is -2, -2.5. Got some updates in terms of injuries. Diddy, I think you confirmed them, but just let me know if I'm wrong. Blankenship is out. Kenny Gainwell's out. Bradbury's out. I think Fletch is a game time decision so far.
And then obviously Nakobe Dean.
And then Nakobe Dean is out. So with that being said, Diddy, let me know, what are you betting and how did you bet this game, especially in terms of what the line is now opened at 7.5. It is now under the key number of 7. What we got here? Oh shit, man! You shaking your head with the Eagles hat on. What is going on?
This fucking hat seems heavy as shit on my head right now.
What is going on?
This is a pain in my neck game here. Listen, ride till I die.
We're here to make money. Talk to us.
To make money. I wasn't a fan of what I saw last week. That's bottom line.
Okay.
I spoke about that. I thought we made mistakes up and down the board, and the most important part I didn't like about it, which I was very surprised to see, was the energy that we had coming into that game against the Patriots. I just didn't see the energy. I didn't see the energy from our head quarterback there, and Jalen Hurts. I just felt like something was missing, and I'm not sure if that's carrying along. But most importantly, what I saw from X's and O's is that our inner middle of our defense is not there. We have an issue in the middle of our defense. I don't know exactly. I don't know if that's something that can be solved in 4 days. I don't think so.
So you said there's a problem in the middle of our defense, and we've also established that Nakobe Dean and Reed Blankenship are out, right?
There we go.
The 2 best players in the middle.
Absolutely.
So we're on the same.
So with
page.
this
is
with that being said, I'm not saying I'm going to the game. I'm gonna watch it. I'm a jersey on. My Kelly Green gonna be out there ready to knock somebody the hell out.
Yep.
But for me, the only play I'm going to have is going to be a teaser play, right? And I'm going to put it with the Friday college games. And it's going to be Minnesota, and I'm going to get them up to 19 to 20 points. Because I think this game's going to be much closer than it was, obviously, last year when we played. I think this is a revenge game for Minnesota to come in. They got to go back-to-back years into Philadelphia on a primetime game, on a night game, and pretty much the same Minnesota team that's been there last year that got that ass whooping when they came over here, and fucking Kirk Cousins was embarrassed out there in that field. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do have a teaser of Minnesota going up to 20 points. So I think it'll be much closer than it is this year. We're going to put them with Memphis and Maryland, and I think that'll be my play going into to this game here.
I like it. I might actually tail that teaser just to get a little extra money heading into the weekend because 2 of those are already mine. Yep. I like it. Honestly, I would say I doubled down on that way of thinking. So when the lines dropped on Sunday night, when the Sunday night football game was going on, I saw 7.5 and I bet it. Simple as that. I don't think the Eagles are winning by 2 scores. And I definitely don't think the Eagles are winning by 2 scores after I saw the injury report. Now, I did see that Garrett Bradbury, the starting center for Minnesota, is out. I did see that their best offensive lineman, Christian Darrisaw, could be out or at least banged up.
He froze on us?
And turns back into a pumpkin.
Oh, there you go.
If you get any sort of pressure, move, he can't flush the pocket. He doesn't roll out. He wants to step up in the pocket. Without their center, I don't know if Sean Desai would do this, but I personally would run a 5-man front right over their backup center and try to just win that way. With that being said, though, I don't think Nick Sirianni ran a good offseason. I think he came out and said it after week 1. I think he said, man, coaches are starting to analyze how sloppy the play was in week 1 on offense, and maybe not playing guys is the wrong thing to do. You think? So he can't just go into a season doing walkthroughs and then getting actually tackled and think you're going to perform well. It just doesn't work like that. And I don't think they're going to, on a short week, you're not going to be able to practice. So they didn't practice this week. They just did walkthroughs. I'll be honest. Vikings plus 7.5 is one of the largest bets I've made in a long time.
Oh, be careful with those words, Sharpie.
Well, I'm just telling. I'm just telling you what I did. I'm not saying do what you did. I'm telling you, me personally, this was a 20-unit bet.
You said how much? My air conditioner came on.
Did you just say 20 units?
20 units.
Okay.
20 units.
Damn, take that hat off. Take that hat off. 20?
I think the Eagles win. But not 7.5. That hook was just too good to be true.
Damn, my ear came on.
Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Now, I will say this, and we can go on Sunday. Like I told you, I didn't bet much this week. I just went big. I also took Kansas City minus 2.5 for 20 units, too.
Well, if you lose this, you ain't going to have nothing the rest of the weekend. So, you ain't going to have no more units. His unit's going to be expired.
If the Chiefs and the Eagles lose, I will have lost probably 25% of my bankroll.
There you go.
Which will take me a long way to go back.
Jeez. All right, I'll end it up with my best bet of the day. I'm not taking a shot here because time is ticking for me to actually do some other things. We got to shut it down. But I'm taking Kirk Cousins over 250.5 yards crossing.
Arms away.
Madison, they're not going to be able to run on the Eagles. New England couldn't do it. That stout, that up front, that defensive front up front is very stout and with our D tackle. So it's going to be Kirk Cousins throwing the ball. It wouldn't surprise me if he throws for 300 yards in this game. I love this bet right here. Kirk Cousins over 263 yards. I even thought about taking Jalen Hurts under 250 after we saw last week, but I will keep with Kirk Cousins over 263 yards. Those are our best bets of the day.
I will say I'd also look at Jordan Addison. Look at Jordan Addison props. Without James Bradbury, that's going to be Josh Jobe. Jordan Addison is so much faster than Josh Jobe, guys. Josh Jobe runs 4.55. Jordan Addison runs 4.42. Josh Jobe's not going to be able to cover him. Simple as that. So we're going to have to roll coverage or Jordan Addison is going to light Josh Jobe up. I'm just telling you right now.
The only problem I have with that take is that he's from the SEC. So he's seen Chase. He's seen these guys already. I don't think that's going to surprise him.
Well, yeah, right? but then what goes to my point is Josh Jobe played in the SEC and he didn't get drafted because he got lit up. So,
make some good points, baby.
I'm just saying, from a talent-wise, he's not going to be surprised by the talent.
But he's going against a first-round wide receiver. So,
what do y'all think about the total of this game? They like the over here, right? We got to like the over, right? We got to think the over's there, right?
My only thing about the over is
the Eagles lose up, straight up, and they can't score. Right. That offense, I mean, like if Jalen throws for under 200 yards, what are you gonna do? I ain't gonna score. I ain't gonna cut it. You know what I mean? But we'll add more context to more plays as the day goes on. This is Moss Money. That is Diddy. That is Sharp. MoneyPot Podcast. Let's go. We'll see y'all later. Happy hunting.
Fly, Eagles, fly.